Hi, I'm Anna. Today is May 16th. U.S. and Nigerian forces carried out a joint operation Friday night that eliminated Abu-Bilal al-Minuki, the second-in-command of ISIS globally. Trump announced the strike on Truth Social. Tonight, at my direction, brave American forces and the armed forces of Nigeria flawlessly carried out a meticulously planned and very complex mission to eliminate the most active armed fighter in the world from the battlefield. Trump said al-Minuki thought he could hide in Africa, but little did he know we had sources who kept us informed on what he was doing. Al-Minuki, also known as Abu-Bilal, was a Nigerian national born in 1982 in Borno State in northeastern Nigeria, the epicenter of the Boko Haram and Islamic State West Africa province insurgency that has raged for 17 years, displacing more than 2 million people. The Biden administration had designated him a specially designated global terrorist in 2023. He was on the list. He was being tracked. Friday night, the tracking ended. Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu confirmed the operation Saturday morning, saying early assessments confirmed the elimination of al-Minuki along with several of his lieutenants during a precision strike on his compound in the Lake Chad Basin. The Nigerian army said the strike was carried out in Borno State, an airland operation conducted in close coordination with U.S. Africa Command. The U.S. had previously deployed around 200 troops and MQ-9 drones to Nigeria earlier in 2026 to provide training and intelligence support to Nigerian forces in a non-combat role. Those assets were in place. The intelligence network was built. When the moment came, the mission was ready. Tinubu called it a significant example of effective collaboration in the fight against terrorism and thanked Trump for his leadership. Now, Canada. Bill C-22, submitted to Parliament in March 2026, would compel technology companies, telecom providers, and internet service providers to modify their systems to give Canadian law enforcement and intelligence services access to user data. The government calls it a lawful access update. The tech industry calls it something else entirely. Signal's Vice President Adbov Tiwari told the Globe and Mail that his company would rather leave Canada entirely than compromise the end-to-end encryption promises it has made to its users. He also warned that the architectural changes required by C-22 could leave private messaging services vulnerable to cyber attacks, with private messaging services serving as an ideal target for foreign adversaries. Windscribe, a VPN provider headquartered in Canada, said it may follow Signal out the door because complying would almost certainly require the company to log identifying user data. A Canadian company threatening to leave Canada because of a Canadian law. Apple released a formal statement warning that C-22 could allow the Canadian government to force companies to break encryption by inserting backdoors into their products, something Apple will never do. Meta testified before Parliament, warning that the bill contains sweeping powers, minimal oversight, and a lack of clear safeguards, and that it could ultimately make Canadians less safe, not more. The chairs of the U.S. House Judiciary Committee and the House Foreign Affairs Committee sent a joint letter to Canada's Minister of Public Safety, warning that providers of end-to-end encryption would inevitably face directives to create backdoors and architectural changes that bypass or weaken encryption. The response from Canada's Public Safety Minister Gary Anand-Sangari: everyone is misreading the bill. Apple is wrong. Signal is wrong. The U.S. Congress is wrong. The bill is, in his words, encryption neutral. That framing has a history. Canada passed the Online News Act in 2023, and the government was equally confident that Meta would fall in line and would never actually pull news sharing from Canadian platforms. Meta pulled it. News disappeared from Facebook and Instagram in Canada. The government blinked. Now the same pattern is playing out. The same dismissal. The same confidence that the companies are bluffing. C-22 still needs committee review, Senate approval, and royal assent before it becomes law, so there is still time for the government to engage with the amendments proposed by expert witnesses. But the window is closing. And the companies are not bluffing. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button now and turn on the bell. Both of these stories are moving fast, and the next development won't wait.